Nano. All City, what up, y'all?
They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They in my chat with the shit. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got rods on the scopes. Now don't get slacked out the line.
Enemy is not on me. Now tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes of the nation. LIB in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out
See,
the
it's
mud.
99% cap, 1% gameplay, 100% vibes. Don't bring that bullshit my way. Try your luck, go against the vibe. Where you fuck, you gon' think I'm Mike Grable the way I make them tighten up. You'll be lucky if you even score. You should read more, though I choose to live in
Tristan
peace.
was
You
good.
should know I bleed war. I'm a recon man, one of the best in the sport. I keep a drone on my hip.
Congratulations,
I lay it
Rent
out to
Duke
explore.
Gaming.
They say the ops on
Mr.
the way.
and Mrs.
I see
Rent
one,
Duke
I know
Gaming.
it's more. They just ran inside
Congratulations,
the building,
brother.
my EMP on the court. Make them panic, play support. Crypto going manic, they trying to figure
guy's a
out how
smooth
I do
operator
assault
out there.
damage. Real just mark the surroundings, I know they can't stand it. Morosky sending out his ghost and they don't understand it. I'm headed to the high
God, I can't
ground to
believe I had
get
to read
all
this.
overstanding. Down you from a distance, see your partners, they done left you stranded. Damn. You know you headed to the lobby, right?
Oh,
Sorry
man.
for your awful fight. I admit it was easy.
A real
Get you some
professional
practice so you
comedian,
always
though,
die.
actually.
I know you doing that ping thing. They gone, made it out of sniper range. Level 1 knockdown.
What's
shield,
the
been
vibes,
7 minutes
chat?
in the fucking game. I'm devoted. Hit you with the devotion, hear it
Wind
wind
up,
up,
quick motion.
Now I'm
It's
headed
Q.
with the win to your partners, but I'm focused. See, Goat just hit that beast on the hunt. Ghosts is we reloaded, blow the EMP and we done. They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They in my chat with the shit. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got
TJ.
rods on the scopes. Now don't get slacked out the line.
Enemy is not on me. Now tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes of the nation. LIB in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out the mud.
You think it came out the mud? Hope everybody having a blessed day. Shout out to everybody. Do me a favor right now. Rent Duke Gaming did one of the things that is the most important step in a man's life. That is the person he chooses to start a family and be married to. Congratulations. Clap it up in the chat. Clap it up for Rent Duke Gaming. Men's had the beach and roll out with the candles and the big sign. Got down on one knee. You know what I'm saying? You know, doing the thing. You feel me? That's love, man. It's good to see. It's good to see. Love is in the air. All right. Now we got to get into the topic of the day. No, it's not my $1 t-shirt from the thrift. You know what I'm saying? It is one Justin Fields. All right. Today, moves being made. Justin Fields traded to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 6th round pick. Next year, Christian Kirk goes to the San Francisco 49ers for a 1-year, $6 million deal. And that is a huge pickup. The 49ers now have Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Ricky Pearsall, and they're in a more poised position to move forward without Brandon Ayuk. Debo Samuel left last year, and the 49ers have some draft capital. And if somebody, like I've been saying, gets desperate enough, there will be a team who decides that they're going to trade their 1st round pick to get Mac Jones, who I think is one of the best bets in free agency at quarterback out there. If you're not the Raiders, who have the number 1 overall pick and the rights to one Fernando Mendoza. Meanwhile, in the NFL, Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, $56.2 million in dead cap. Bradley Chubb, $31.2 million in dead cap. Tyreek Hill, $28.2 million in dead cap. Jalen Ramsey, $20.8 million in dead cap, and Minkah Fitzpatrick, $12.9 million in dead cap. The 5 biggest cap hits to the Miami Dolphins are all players who play for other teams. I told y'all last year the Dolphins were in cap hell and trying to find a way out. After the June 1st cuts, some of those contracts will slightly reduce, giving them a little bit of leeway, but not a lot, which is really crazy, which is really crazy for them to be in that position. And to further my thoughts, that the Chiefs got Justin Fields, and they're only going to pay $3 million of the guaranteed money that's left on Justin Fields. He had a 2-year, $30 million deal, around about, and after 1 year to just move it on, they acquire a 6th round pick next year from the Chiefs, and New York is going to eat a majority of the cap. So this gives the Kansas, per Spotrac, this gives the Kansas City Chiefs a better backup option. Last year was Gardner Minshew, and I can't even think of the guy's name that came in the game in the second half against us, the Titans. I had never seen the Chiefs offense look so bad. Yeah, Jets is gonna be splitting the money. The Dolphins are completely cooked, but you know, when you think about the New York Jets and the moves they've made in 2027, the New York Jets will have their own 1st round pick, the Colts' 1st round pick from Sauce Gardner, the 1st round pick from either Cowboys or the Packer, whichever pick is actually better. They're a 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th, the 49ers 6th, the Chiefs 6th, and the Eagles 6th. And those are all conditional picks, but that's with no compensatory picks. The New York Jets are in line to right their ship when we talk about moving into 2027 in that draft, that people are so high on that draft class. The Jets will pick 3 times in the 1st round. That's without a trade back. They'll pick in the 2nd and they'll pick in the 3rd, and depending on how they do, you know, we're talking about having 6 top 100 picks and 3 in the 1st round. Like, the Jets will be completely loaded. And I think with the moves that the Jets made moves, and they have the 2nd pick. They got A.D. Mitchell. You get Garrett Wilson back. You put the tag on Breece Hall. You got Tavondre Sweat, Jarvis Brownlee Jr. They've been collecting talent through all the trades that they've made, that they have some young guys that they could build around. But if you're going to have 3 1st-round picks next year, I wouldn't be so sure if the Jets, if I was the Jets, I'd say, you know what? Let's burn one and go get us a solid bridge over there. Unless they want to continue dealing with the Tennessee Titans, we have one William Levis that can be moved. And drop them crystal balls in the chat. I had so many people telling me Will Levis doesn't have value. I said Malik Willis is his proof of concept. Malik Willis just got a monster deal from the Dolphins, over $20 million a year. Then you see the Cardinals have put Jacoby Brissett on the poster in their stadium when you come in. That is absolutely nuts. And they picked up Gardner Minshew. And now the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes maybe not being 100% for camp. Now you have a 1st-round talent in Justin Fields, who needs a new home. What better home than have with Andy Reid, probably the best offensive mind in football in the last quarter century when it comes to dealing with quarterbacks and mobile quarterbacks at that. So he definitely fits Andy Reid's mold. He'll get a lot of reps and a lot of practice time this summer with Patrick Mahomes being out, and a better backup than what they've had. You see Trey Lance getting a deal. You see Mariota getting brought back. You see Kenny Pickett getting a deal. A lot of bridges that come into mind, and the Chiefs just got a cheap option at $3 million, and the Jets are completely loading draft picks for 2027. So when you see how in dire straits some of these teams will be after the Raiders pick Mendoza, there's a lot of teams that would love to have a young quarterback and a bridge to have something to build for the future with. And it's going to be interesting to see, does anybody trade for Davis Mills, Mac Jones, Will Levis, Joe Milton? A lot of the young quarterbacks that have promise, the teams are not done on. You believe in what Aaron Glenn is doing with the Jets? It's not Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn is just a defensive-minded coach from the Lions that is trying to put his stamp on a young team. I honestly more see him like Pierce or Gerard Mayo being basically a placeholder for these 2 years that they know they were going to be bad. And then next year you got that many draft pick, and this year if he can get the young team to start playing better, they'll get rid of him and bring in the coach that they want to have all these draft picks next season. So you could see the Jets being at play for one of the solid veteran bridges, the way they brought back Geno Smith. Now, like they made moves to where Geno Smith is an upgrade and you're getting him for free. You're getting to get off of Justin Fields and not eat all the contract and get some draft capital in the future. Now, if the Jets can go out and I got tongue tied, if the Jets can go out and get a young QB in the draft, just as somebody who's a developmental player, maybe it is Ty Simpson or one of the Cade Klubnik or Drew Aller or somebody that's coming out this year to develop. So it's good for both teams. Derek, what's popping, my boy? This is a good way for a team to do what the Broncos did. Broncos paid Russell Wilson to leave. They let Simmons go. They let Jerry Jeudy go. And then they brought in Bo Nix with the veteran bridge and a bunch of running backs and kind of built it around the defense and let it develop. That was the Jets now could be the same way I said the Titans was last year. They could be, which team can be the new Patriots or Bears? The team that takes a bad situation, loads up draft picks, puts veterans in, and has a good young nucleus that they're moving forward with. So to say, Rich, I do like what they're doing. I like what the Raiders are doing. I like what the Titans are doing. I like what the Jets are doing. Some of these teams that have been down in the dumps are finding ways to get young talent to build around. Because you can't say that. I mean, Tavondre Sweat, Jarvis Brownlee Jr., Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, A.D. Mitchell, they got some young players that they can build around that, knowing that they're going to have so many draft picks next year. You just freeing up cap space. And that's what we did the last year. And then now look what the Titans has been able to do with their free agent haul. Look what the Raiders brought in. Look what some of these teams have been able to bring into their organization by simply just saying, you know what, we're going to eat the bad year. And this is a year where the Jets could be more competitive and set themselves up to win next season. I got tongue tied with the Mac Jones part because that was another pod that I did. It's Geno Smith. I couldn't put Geno Smith in my mind right there, but I mean that's a perfect way to do it. If the Jets can go draft and draft a Ty Simpson or somebody that they could groom. If not, you're gonna say you're all in on Geno and you're gonna be looking to next year. But that's a hard sell for a coach that's on the hot seat. I don't know if you can sell Aaron Glenn on, hey man, next year is gonna be the year. He's like, well, I won't be around for that. So Geno Smith will be a upgrade at QB in a good bridge, but I think they should try to get a young QB to match with Geno Smith. Ravens Joe. I mean, think about the Seahawks. Seahawks did that. They didn't know what Sam Darnold would be. If it's the old Sam Darnold, it's the Sam Darnold from the Vikings with 14 wins. And they took Sam Darnold and drafted Jalen Milroe. And then boom, you got your young guy that you're grooming. That's the future. And then you got your veteran bridge that you can still win games with. So I do like what the Jets are doing. It's a lot of teams making good moves. When you think about the Cardinals and you think about some of those teams, that's just like, what are they doing this offseason? There's some teams that I know their fan base have to be frustrated with the lack of movement in these NFL teams. Like you gotta have some kind of direction or some vision. All right, so Christian Kirk to the 49ers. I think the 49ers have upgraded their wide receiver room coming into the year. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the draft, as well as like now getting into the topic of the day, because it took a little minute for me to set this up. Like, I believe if Justin Fields, if a team is willing to eat contract to deal Justin Fields off to get a 6th round pick back, and the Chiefs only have to pay Justin Fields $3 million, Will Levis is $1.5 to $2 million. Like, you telling me that a team wouldn't give a 5th or a 6th rounder up for Will Levis today? I think so. A lot of people told me that Will Levis doesn't have draft capital, but if you can get a 6th round pick in a loaded draft class like next year for Justin Fields, I honestly I think that Will Levis will draw some draft capital, which will put the Tennessee Titans to 10 draft picks this season if they're able to trade Will Levis. And now we have the contract details per Paul Koharski and the remainder of the Tennessee media. So it looks like the cap hit has been reduced down to $15 million. Calvin Ridley, as it sit, would have got a $2 million bonus today, and he would have been $28 million this season. But that's salute to Calvin Ridley, saying that he wants to come back and prove himself and show the type of receiver that he can be by taking a pay cut and restructuring, also giving the Tennessee Titans more free cap, because now if I haven't said this 1,000 times, I need them to re-sign Zietler or make a play on Wyatt Teller. It is time. Too much time has passed, and I think that now is the perfect time for them to strike at right guard. And then we're going to get into the next part of it. Now look at this. Calvin Ridley last year was 17 receptions, 303 yards, no touchdowns, 17.8 yards a catch. Struggled with some drops last year. But if you're thinking about the year in Jacksonville, 76 receptions for 1,016 yards, 8 touchdowns. The year before last, the first year with the Titans, 64 catches, 1,017 yards, with a 16-yard per catch average, 4 touchdowns. If Calvin Ridley can return to form, Calvin Ridley and Wan'Dale Robinson could be two solid veteran parts of our wide receiver core, and could still go in the draft. Now, I have to go back to some of my original mocks of saying that wide receiver could be the 3rd or 4th pick. As deep as the wide receiver class is, I think you risk it and try to wait to 66 or 101. Even you still could trade back, but 66 or 101, there could still be a Jacoby Lane, a Ted Hurst, a good Chris Bell, a physical outside receiver that can stretch the field. We need our Nico Collins, we need our Alec Pierce, we need our dunker in Nashville. Oh, you ain't missed nothing, Craig. We just talked a little bit about some of the trades and moves today. Christian Kirk going to the 49ers for $6 million on a 1-year deal, and Justin Fields being traded to the Chiefs for a 6th round pick next year. And the Jets are eating a good bit of the cap, so the Chiefs are only on the hook for $3 million. So you're looking at Calvin Ridley's numbers. I think Calvin Ridley could be a very productive part of the rotation of Chim DK, Alec Aomaner, Wan'Dale Robinson, Calvin Ridley, Bryce Oliver, and Xavier Restrepo. That's without the draft. What it do, player? So now we just waiting to see if the Titans make a move at right guard. But I really think now you have to say that it's either going to be Jeremiah Love, edge, wide receiver, cornerback, linebacker, I think in that order, or they could surprise us and go interior O line with some of the candidates that will be around at pick 35 and 66. But if they go out and land Wyatt Teller or re-sign Zietler, I would feel very good about the Tennessee Titans' ability to take best player available in the draft. I know there's a big fuss in the fan base about whether we should be all in on Jeremiah Love or whether we should be all in on edge rusher. Seeing as both positions have depth right now, but there's nobody you feel like is the star right now. Like Jermaine Johnson, Femi Oladejo, Martin, Jalen Harrell, and the rest of the guys that they got is a solid rotation, but there's no star. The same way that Tony Pollard, Tajay, and Khalil Mullins is solid, but there's no star there. So you want to have something that you could look to the future with. So it's going to be interesting to see just what moves the Tennessee Titans decide to make, because they have so many options now of what they could do, and I think they'll give themselves even more options if they're able to land a right guard. Big Play Slay retiring, saying he would only play for the Eagles. The Eagles is the only team they could call him. I could see Slay sitting out and staying healthy, and then maybe the Eagles picking him up later. I mean, who wouldn't want to have Big Play Slay as a veteran backup cornerback behind Woolen and Quinion Mitchell? It's actually quite nice, but not a lot of movement in the NFL today, but definitely wanted to come on and see what y'all thought about Justin Fields to the Chiefs and Christian Kirk to the 49ers. Have fun going in about the Titans navy blue uniforms. A lot of mad Texan and Titan Nashville people. But people just got to understand, like, Tennessee Titans are trying to appeal to the youth and trying to be a global brand. They don't have time to care about the ego of the Tennessee faithful or the Texan fans that's upset about the Oilers still after all these years. All right, so y'all got any questions, man? Shoot. Just a little quick one today. Nothing majorly happened, so definitely was definitely just sitting here kind of waiting to see if Zietler gets re-signed. And to be honest, when they said they prioritized Zietler and Chig, and then Chig got a similar deal to Bellinger, it kind of leads me to believe that maybe the Titans are letting Zietler test the market to see what his true value is, because they haven't overpaid on any contracts. When you see the contracts come back, they're all team friendly. So maybe Zietler getting $9 million last year, thought that maybe in the market he could get $10 million somewhere or more. But when you think about it, if Wyatt Teller is projected to get 10, I don't know how the Titans would give Zietler 9 or 10 million this year. If I was the Titans and I was going to have to spend 9 or 10 million, I would want to pull the trigger on Wyatt Teller because he's a handful of years younger. But if Zietler wanted to come in on a cheaper deal, I think, because Danny Brunskill gave us 2 years for $5 million. I think it would be more along the lines of Zietler getting a 2-year deal for about what he got last year. Perk Chico with the 50-star bomb. My boy TGG Mon in the building. What's poppin', man? It actually snowed in Alabama today. It was very different. Me waking up in the morning, putting my daughter on the bus, and getting hit with hail pellets, and then it started snowing. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Not used to it snowing in Alabama. Yo, Perk Chico going crazy with the star bomb. Dragon stickers in the chat. Hashtag Perk Chico been showing a lot of love, man. Appreciate you, my boy. Big Play Slay said if the only team you can call him is the Eagles, Chico. So we definitely gonna be interested to see if the Eagles double back and pick up Slay after his retirement. I think that the Fields trade is good for the Chiefs. It buys them time for Mahomes to get healthy. Yeah, I think you don't have to rush him back week 1. I think he'll be ready week 1 because it's Patrick Mahomes. But you get a first round talent that just hasn't worked out in the stops in Chicago, Pittsburgh, and New York. You get Justin Fields. He's better than Gardner Minshew, and the guy they had last year. I don't even remember his name, but you bring Justin Fields in. The Jets are going to pay most of the money. $3 million to put Justin Fields in to have him run all of the reps and give you the live looks that Mahomes would get. So if you had to put Justin Fields in for a few games, it would just be more of a play action gadget, more run oriented offense. And then when Mahomes come back, you get the Mahomes factor. Because the Chiefs are trying to save money and free up money to add talent. And that was a solid move. That's why I say nobody can convince me if Justin Fields can have a team eat contract and trade off for a 6th round. Will Levis has 1 year left and it's less than $2 million. Like, it would be a no-brainer for somebody to trade a 5th or a 6th round pick for Will Levis. If you're giving in the draft class that's going to be in 27, they gave up a 6th round pick for Justin Fields in that draft. So it should tell you this year that Will Levis will have some trade value because the 49ers still want a 1st for Mac Jones. And then, depending on who wants to pick up who, the Jets got Geno Smith for free, trade off Justin Fields, eat a little bit of the money and get a draft pick back. It's a win-win for the Jets and the Chiefs. He said elevation, motivation. Appreciate the love, man. My dog coming with the 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. And we ain't talking about Curtis Jackson. The Jets got Geno Smith, which is an upgrade. Nobody can convince me that Geno Smith is not an upgrade over Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor. Put Geno Smith in. The Jets have, I don't know if you probably wasn't in here when I pulled it up. But I want you to look at these numbers right here because I don't think he was in here to see what I had pulled up about the Jets. I think it's under Shafty. All right, so look. So for the people just getting in, this is what we're kind of going over. Now that the Jets have made that move, you get Geno Smith, and then they have a first, and a first next year, a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, and 3 6 with contingencies on. That's a lot of draft capital. 3 picks in the first round next year. They could go after Ty Simpson if they felt good about Ty Simpson. If not, you could wait and try to catch fire in the late rounds with a quarterback, a developmental person, knowing you got 3 first-round picks next year. If there's a QB1, the Jets will be in prime position to move up and get QB1 if they so want. With Dante Moore, Arch Manning, Trinidad Chambliss, it's a lot of guys coming out next year. So they should be able to make that stab. So if you selling Aaron Glenn on, see what you can do with Geno Smith, with Garrett Wilson, A.D. Mitchell, Breece Hall. Like, see what you can do with that. And then, if I'm the Jets, I throw a lot of capital in this draft at defense. Like, I want Arvell Reese or Ruben Bain early, whoever I feel good about at 2. If I'm the Jets, I load up defense, and then next year when you go get your QB, you go after some offensive firepower. Yeah, not having. I mean, they got Jarvis and they got Tavondre Sweat from us. Like, I seen them pick up a couple of good free agent acquisitions in the secondary, but maybe this is the year where the Jets just load up defense. You could potentially see this. I know I told you I thought the Cardinals would be a better position to trade out than us. The Titans sitting at 4. When we talking about trading back, maybe the Jets do what the Browns did last year: trade out of 2, stay in the top 10, and load up even more draft capital. So if you the Jets and you trade from like 2 to 9 or 2 to 7 or something like that, and pick up extra picks, like they probably still could get, cornerback 1, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, or if they wanted to go, maybe Keldrick Falk or David Bailey or somebody is still around. Who knows? The Jets has got a gazillion draft picks, bro. Like it's kind of interesting to see. I mean, he said 500 star bond say inspiration with another 50 VR. He said Geno was terrible on the Raiders, but who wasn't bad on the Raiders? Brock Bowers was out all year. They didn't know how to use Ashton Jeanty. They was too busy trying to make Ashton Jeanty change his running back stance. Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll was a nightmare on the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Like, Geno Smith had resurged the same way Darnold did up until last year, and then maybe it was just a bad situation. But, you put Geno Smith over there back on the Jets. I mean, I promise he can't play worse than Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor last year. So maybe that's it. Maybe you feel like Geno can. Last year was an aberration, but it's cheap though. You're getting Geno for free. You don't think Geno Smith is an upgrade over Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor? Listen, Geno Smith for free far beats like overpaying for something. I mean, the coach is giving Daniel Jones $50 million this year. He may not even be healthy to play. I mean, the Raiders is literally paying the Jets to play Geno this year. Ravens Joe Statman, what up? They got 3 firsts next year. That is nuts. I mean, that's nuts, bro. 2000. Man, Chico's still going crazy. Cause I mean, the Jets pick at 2 and 16. Jets can get themselves back together quick. They don't have to wait long. Chico is still going in with the 20. Appreciate the love, my boy. But y'all got any more questions about anything going on? Jets pick 2 and 16. Jets could trade back out of 2 and really load up. Can you imagine if last year the Browns traded with the Jaguars and it went from pick 2 to pick 5, and they got the Jags first round pick this year and plus some other picks. So if the Jets traded back from 2 back, like the Jets could get the mother load. Because I think the Jets are in better position, and the Cardinals are in better position to trade back than the Titans. But I'll pop back in with y'all tonight, man. I just wanted to hop in for the daytime. Family is back here, so God first in the chat. Make sure if y'all got any questions, throw them in the chat, and we'll double back on them, man. Peace.